Well, hi everyone. I'm Angie McMurray, the Director of Programs for the Ohio Academy of Science, and I just want to welcome you to our official kickoff to the 2023-2024 academic year. I know that some of you have actually been in school for quite some time now, while others are still transitioning into the start of the school year. So welcome to everyone today, and we are going to, oh, I'm muted. You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Does anybody know how to do the thumbs up symbol? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, all right. Jocelyn, it might be on your end. Okay, thank you. All right. So what the objectives for today are just a couple, really brief. One, I'm going to briefly explain the programs that are offered by the Ohio Academy for the 2023-2024 academic year, and then make sure that I showcase all of the available resources so that your students, whether you are an educator, formal or informal educator, or if you are an after school coordinator or a parent, all of you know where the resources are to help your students be successful for this academic year. So first of all, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page for where our programs, what we're offering this year. And we are still offering our Science Days program. We have our 17 district science days that will be hosted in March of 2024. Those will start at the beginning of March. The first weekend, I believe, is the second, and conclude 4 weekends in. We are not having any in-person district science days at our institutions of higher education hosts on the last Saturday in March due to the Easter holiday. And so and a lot of spring breaks will be during that time. And so we've asked our partners not to host a district science day during that time. We will still be offering District 18 Science Day, and that Science Day then will be a virtual option for students who are unable to attend an in-person district science day, or for those that might have a health reason or something along those lines. So we will still offer that option. And then our state science day the competition again is going to be virtual this year. However, we are so excited that we will be returning to Ohio State University on May 11th of 2024, and that will be our celebration of science for the students and their parent chaperones. It was absolutely amazing last year, so I'm so excited that we'll be returning for that special symposium day and award ceremony. We also are offering our Buckeye Science and Engineering Fair. This is the ISEF qualifying competition. ISEF is the International Science and Engineering Fair, and this will be actually held on Saturday, March 2nd in person at CAS in Columbus. So we are really excited to bring this back as an in-person opportunity for students throughout the state of Ohio. Super excited to announce that we have reintroduced and rebranded our STEM entrepreneurship program. It is now called the Ohio STEP program. And STEP is an acronym, just like we have lots of acronyms in education: science, technology, entrepreneurial program. And so where we redid a lot of our teacher resources. We have now workbooks for students and teachers, that our curriculum is still free. And so just wanted to make sure everyone knows that that program is still out there. And this year we are offering that program just like we're trying to align a lot of our programs. So our Science Days and our Ohio STEP programs are all available for students in grades 5 through 12. Our Buckeye Science and Engineering Fair is open to students in Ohio in grades 9 through 12. So just letting them know. And then putting a plug out there, if you have a child or know a student that is in college that is currently studying a STEM in a STEM major for undergraduates, graduates, and business professionals throughout the state. We have our annual meeting this year, the weekend before the big eclipse, on Saturday, April 6th at Kent State University. So please take a look at our website for more information on that program as well. So a lot of questions that we get all the time is there a timeline for the events this year? And yes, there is. We actually have a great big timeline we've been putting out on social media and sending out to our educational partners. But if you're new to our programs and you would like a copy of that, we can send that straight to you as well. But just some key dates to mark down on your own calendars. Project Board, our social learning platform that we are using for our program student makerspace, again, opened up on September 5th. And on December 15th, we are actually going to close account activation. And a lot of people are getting this a little bit confused with project submission. So one of the things that we need to do so that we can work with our district science day partners in preparation for their in-person events, they need to know food counts, how many judges they need, space through the institution of higher education. So one of the things to help with that, and also to really, it's an opportunity for students to make a decision on whether or not they might be participating in the competition. They don't have to, but that they might be thinking about submitting a project for competition during the 2024 competition season. So by December 15th, the account simply needs to be activated or from a teacher reactivated. This does not mean that the student's project needs to be completed. What it simply means is it's just like if you were a student and you were registering for college, you might go in and create your account. You just haven't submitted your application for college just yet. So that's really all it means. And so just making sure we're all clear on that. On December 16th, the window for students to submit their completed projects for competition will actually open. And I know a lot of people are like, what? They're done by December 16th? Yes, there are some schools across the state of Ohio who actually have their projects completed in early October or November. And so we want to make sure that we aren't missing out on those students. And so they can start submitting their projects for competition on December 16th. And again, these are students in grades 5 through 12 who would be submitting their projects for Science Day, Ohio STEP, or the high school students for Buckeye Science and Engineering Fair. So all of that will be opening. If their project is not finished by December 16th, no worries, no reason to panic. They still have plenty of time to get that project finished. If a student is going to participate in the Buckeye Science and Engineering Fair, they do have to have their project submitted by January 31st, 2024 this year. That will close for BSEF on January 31st at 11:59 p.m. in 2024. And this is because with registering the students and their parent chaperones to ISEF and the paperwork that we have to fill out, we need quite a bit bigger window. And we want to make sure also that these students are prepared with what they need to come to the in-person competition on March 2nd. And so that one closes January 31st. If a student is going to participate in District Science Day or Ohio STEP, then they have to have their projects completed for competition by February 26th of 2024. And so just letting everyone know that even if you activate your account in October, you can wait until February 25th to submit your project for either a district science day or Ohio STEP. And then again, in March of 2024, district science days are going to be held on Saturdays, as well as our BSEF event. Ohio STEP will actually be more of a virtual competition. And then we will also be having a celebration for Ohio STEP in April, also up at Kent State University. So students will be they'll be doing some makerspace things in Kent State's maker lab that we were in last year. They'll be presenting their pitch projects if they want to, and it'll be our awards as well. And then in April, like I said, the judging for State Science Day will be virtual, but the celebration on May 11th will be in person again. And I see there's questions coming in the chat, but I'm going to wait until after and we'll get all those questions answered for you. So speaking of project board, we sent out a survey last year and had lots of feedback from students and teachers. It was really interesting to see the feedback from the students and the teachers. And we spent a lot of time adjusting the platform for use this year. We have a new landing page. We have an updated registration. We actually have separated our templates out for Science Day hypothesis or meta-analysis projects and engineering design. And we've also separated out into more of makerspace template for all students to utilize. And then there'll be separate templates for submission. So that way, you know, a student can utilize it as a makerspace, or if a teacher chooses not to utilize the makerspace, the student still has to create the account, but then they'll just be ready to submit their project in the submission template. And then we have lots of updated resources and FAQ. So I do want to take a walk through Project Board. And we are using the same website as before. So projectboard.world/OAS. And once you're here on this site, you can see at the top is lots of information. So if you are looking for information about Ohio STEP, we've got student resources, teacher resources. And if you click on teacher resources, we have redone the program guide. So that's a great guide that you can print out and you can have. It's our entire curricular pathway for the whole year or for however long you want to run your Ohio STEP program. And so that is available there for you to just download and use. And then if you go back, this is what I love about using this platform is that we can actually, a lot of times kids just don't know where to get started. Well, a great way is to look at your peers. And so I actually heard from a scientist today that there's really a lot of information out there that's already been discovered. And so I think it's great for students to see what has been discovered previously. And so our program was still called Believe in Ohio last year. And so we wanted to showcase all of the projects were there. So students, this is a great teaching tool. You could have students pull up a couple of projects and say, if you were doing this, what would you do different? Identify their problem. What do you think their original problem statement was? What was the question that they wanted to solve? Can you identify their resources? So these projects themselves actually become amazing teaching tools for ELA, if we're talking about technical writing, and for STEM as well. If you are looking for information for Science Day, again, we have all of the district Science Day projects, all of the state Science Day projects, and our resources as well. And I'm not getting it to move over fast enough. Well, maybe it's not moving over. Not sure why that link is not going there. Okay, well, see, prototype design, right? Oh, there it is. It's just slow. My internet is slow. See, I'm so used to my phone and Siri and instant gratification that I want it to come right away. So all of our resources for science fair still follow along kind of the general process of a hypothesis-based program. And we've got our student guide, our timeline. This is that big timeline I was telling you about. If you wanted to print it off and hang it in your classroom or to share it with your students, definitely feel free to do that. And so all of that is still available for access on our website. Here's a tab for Buckeye and Science and Engineering Fair specifically. And then here's my favorite new tab, the Help tab. So if you click on the Help tab, and again, I need to be patient with my internet access. If you click on the Help tab, we have an FAQ and resource center. So what we're hoping is that if somebody comes up with an issue right away, that you can either search or you can look here about what might be able to help you. So how do you manage a class? What if you get an error message? And then if for some reason you still need, how can I change my email? How can I change my password? All of the things are here. If you still need additional help, then all you have to do is click contact us. And there we have a ticket system this year, and you'll put your email, the subject message, and it'll have a ticket system, and we will get back to you and help you through that process. So I do want to show you, looking at, the projects under the My Projects tab. These are for students if they're registered, if teachers were involved in projects in the past. Again, another key component of this program is that it archives the students' work each year so that this becomes, oh, first I got to remember my password here, so that it is a living, breathing portfolio for the students' work. Okay, well, that's not good. I can't remember my own password. Okay, there we go. One explanation point, not two, for those that are curious. Anyway, right? Do you struggle with trying to remember all of your passwords? So once your account is either reactivated or activated for the first time, you will be able to set up your classes. And so you will actually be able to see your classes from last year. They will, if you had an account, they'll be in your archived classes, and then you'll have your classes for this year. Some new things I do definitely want to showcase is, we're just going to call this test. I do want to showcase this year is that one thing that teachers are able to do is when you add students, you can actually use it as a CSV file. So you could, if you have access to all of their emails, simply separated by a comma, you can add all of the students in your class directly to your class. And so once they have their account set up, and then you just save. So they don't have to do the whole putting the class code in. You can do that in one fell swoop this year. So it's more like adding students to a Google Classroom. It makes it very nice and streamlined. I will show you this that popped up. We do have one new thing, and I do want to let you know that this goes beyond the Ohio Academy of Science. So there's been legislation in the state of Ohio and throughout the United States about protecting students that are using social media and or social learning platforms. I know that I had to do this when my sons signed up for Life 360. I actually had to upload my driver's license front and back for them to utilize that program on their phones. And so we're not asking you to upload your driver's license. What we are asking is that students are communicating with their parents, so that if they are 13 and under, that the parents know that the students are using this platform for an educational process. And so there's additional information within the templates. And so if I want to show you some of the things again that we have done with this, and now I get to see everyone's templates from all across the state of Ohio. I'm just going to jump on this young man's. I promise I won't do anything to it. But what we have done is that this is their makerspace template. And so we encourage all the students and teachers to utilize this getting started section. And then we have the background research, we have their hypothesis, their methods, their materials, their ISEF forms, their how to conduct an experiment, their presentation of data, and their conclusion. And then this is just a practice video. This is not their end all be all video, but the great thing about this is that they can practice making their video and maybe share it with their teacher or with peers in their class before they submit their actual submission for competition. So the template for submission for competition is actually only going to have their, it will only have their actual video, their abstract, their final project, and their quad chart. And so those are the things that are going to be required. So we've separated them out. So we definitely want all students across the state of Ohio to utilize this platform as a makerspace. And you can see all this kiddo has done is he's gone in and he's created his account, and now it's ready to go for him to utilize as a makerspace. Some of the other things that we have done is that we've put any of the instructions or any of the points of reference in the top in a read-only manner so that students don't have to worry about deleting it and taking it away. So this is all their makerspace. So when they go in here and they want to add a photo, they just go to here, they can add a photo or a video, they can use it as a whiteboard space, they can add a link to maybe an article that they found or add a file. So lots of things, and then they can maybe take notes down here. So this is like their living, breathing science journal, all here digitally. And so this is all available for them in their makerspace. And so we have this for hypothesis-based research and meta-analysis. We also have another one for engineering design and Ohio STEP. And remember, if students are transitioning to the Buckeye Science and Engineering Fair, they are going to actually choose either the hypothesis-based research or the engineering design template, because that's what their projects are in the first place. So they'll have to make a choice as to which one they will want to use for their makerspace. And then they would have a separate BSEF for competition, but more on that later. So that is just a brief walkthrough through Project Board. There's so many more amazing things that will continue to showcase and show you throughout the fall and throughout the year. I do want to go on to a couple of things and just let you know that we are always here to help. We have our amazing staff. So in the office, we are usually open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's our amazing CEO, Mike Wojtek, Allison Gruber, Dory Gruber, myself, and then I have two amazing STEM advocates this year who are working with our grants and our outreach with our grants, but they're also available for additional questions, and that is Casey Harris and Sheila Kubik. So let us know if you need help. Starting on Monday, the 25th from 3 to 4, we're going to have Ask the OAS every Monday. And we're going to have a theme. So the first theme is about coming up with a testable question. And so then after that, we'll be available to answer questions. And then additional events that we have will be under the events tab on our website. Don't forget, if a student creates a project for the Ohio Academy of Science, we always encourage them to also take that project and enter it many other times so that they have connections in other avenues. So a couple weeks ago, I did a webinar with Grow Next Gen. So if a student is looking for ag science, I highly encourage them to look at doing projects with soybeans. And we have a collaboration with the Ohio STEM Learning Network and their design challenge. I was just there today with that. So amazing opportunities there. Our junior Science and Humanities Symposium held at Capital University each year. Our 4-H connection, our career technical education programs, such a plethora of opportunities there. The Explorer Vision competition sponsored by Toshiba and NSTA, grades K through 12, that entrepreneurship opportunity. Coding with Commitment from Broadcom, an amazing program for and trying to get more students to embed coding into their projects. And then also Raspberry Pi Foundation offers opportunities called code clubs. And so all of these are easy to take our projects and an idea and then utilize it in many, many other ways as well. We are trying to make sure that we are communicating with all of our student participants, their teacher facilitators. Again, we have a lot of informal educators that we work with as well, our after school facilitators, as well as parents. So please make sure that you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We have a brand new redone YouTube page, same address, type in Ohio Academy of Science. But we've cleaned it up, and always our website as well. So now I will open it up. Let me look at the chat for some questions. Let me go back up here. In my district, students haven't even had a chance to check yet. Charlie, check what? If you want to go ahead and unmute. We are planning on starting next week due to.
Yeah, I was sorry about that. I apologize. I'll put my picture here for a second. Sorry. So what was going on was when I first heard you, I thought you said it closed on September 5th. And I was like, wait, what? I'm like, that ain't even started yet. They haven't even had a chance to get on. So I was kind of freaking out for 2 seconds there. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Then I went back and looked at the document. I could see that you're saying it doesn't, the closure doesn't occur until December 16th. So if we start next
yeah,
week,
let me make sure that I'm very clear. So between September 5th and December 15th of 2023, teachers and students have to, if a student wants to participate in our programs, they have to have an account created on the project board site. They do not have to have their project completed yet. They just have to have their account created by December 15th. Then December 16th through February 26th for our Science Day programs and Ohio STEP students, that's when they can finish up their project. And the window to submit their project for one of those district competitions or Ohio STEP competition, that's when it's open, December 26th through December 16th through February 26th. Got it?
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Megan, our local fair is offered in mid-February. Yeah. No, Megan, this has actually been around. This is something that's stayed from COVID. So if a student, if they want to go directly to their district fair, absolutely. I highly encourage somebody having eyes on that project before they go to the district competition. And so that means, a teacher, a parent, some sort of mentor, maybe checking over their project, but they do not have to go from the local competition to a district competition, though they absolutely can. And when I say local, for those that might be new to our programs, this can be within your classroom, like maybe just a symposium night or a day for your kids to present within just your classroom. It could be for your entire district. Excuse me. It could be for your county, but it's not required for a student to submit their project to one of the 18 district science days. And yes, I'm going to be putting the recording on our YouTube channel, and we're going to email it out to if you get emails from us, we're going to email it to you. If you don't get emails regularly from us, then I'm going to give you my contact information in just a minute, and you'll send me an email and I'll get you added to our list. Trouble making a project board account. Yeah, so that means if it keeps coming back, that means you already have an account in there. So let me know, send me an email. There's also, I just showed you how to do kind of that ticket page, but we can help you get that. That means you're already in there. And look for your image in the upper right-hand corner of that page. That means you're already logged in and you're ready to go. What other questions might you have? Oh, I missed one. It says not logged in. Okay, so try to log in. And did you create an account last year? Okay, so you're brand new. So you're going to create an account this year. And if you still get stuck, send me an email tomorrow and let me know, and we will walk you through the process, no problem. So speaking of, here is my contact information. We have a new little email system here, stem@ohiosci.org. That actually goes to everyone in our office. And so we can all work together to get back to teachers. We know that everybody likes to have that response. Sometimes it might not happen in 24 to 48 hours. Doesn't mean we're ignoring you, just means we're small but mighty staff, and we're getting to you. But if you send it to that means that everyone's going to have a chance to look at that email and get back to you. This is my direct email here. And then our website, always ohiosci.org, to take a look at that. So that's my contact information. If you have additional questions, please don't hesitate to stick around. But if you don't have any additional questions, I am going to go ahead and stop the recording. And I want to thank you all for being here this afternoon, and can't wait to work with you this year and encouraging our students through the authentic research process. I've been meeting with a lot of workforce development agencies and employers, and let me tell you, they want students to have all of the skills that are gained by participating in authentic student research. So if you are implementing it, whether it's during the class day or after school or just on their own time as an extra activity, you are preparing your students for our future workforce. So thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for attending today.